So I guess I have a confession to make. I uh, I watched an Anderson Henderson fitness video. I know, but I felt like I had to. You know what I mean? Since I'm having this little fucking battle with this kid, I thought, fuck, I should at least see, his content or whatever. So I watched one titled "Rich Piana did something very disturbing to me." I think he was. I think it was like a diss video towards me. I'm not sure. Anyway, like he goes on in the video to, claim that I didn't know Rich and this and that, and tries to make fun of the fact that I said Rich and I had some stuff in common, which we did. I met Rich at Gold's Gym, fucking North Hollywood, because we had stuff in common. We became friends, acquaintances, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Rich had a lot of friends. Rich had a lot of acquaintances, you know what I mean? But, he goes, he takes it all the way to, allegedly, I claimed he was my best friend, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and, that's not the case, you know what I mean? I have a lot of friends. I knew Rich, yeah, big deal. Rich knew a lot of people. I know a lot of people. If you ever left, mom and dad's, you'd probably make some friends too, besides the ones you pay to make negative comments on my fucking videos. Anyway, he goes on to say that in his opinion, I don't have any of this shit I say I have, and I live in my grandmother's house, and da 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 da. And that's partially true. My house in Northern California was in fact my grandmother's house. When she died, I inherited it, and hence it's my house. But yeah, it was my grandmother's house. I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever. He claims, but he goes on, like, in his version, I live with my granny, as he calls her, and this and that. Which is kind of funny, because I'm, 39, almost 40 years old. And, my mom's 71 years old, so if my grandmother, God rest her soul, was still alive, which I truly wish she was, I miss my grandmother, that would make her about fucking, 100 and some odd years old. So no, I don't live with my granny. One of the homes I own was hers, and I inherited it. Yes, that's true. You're absolutely right about that. And then he goes on, saying, because I said Rich and I had some things in common, and I mentioned a couple of them. I said, we both, like to collect, nice watches and this and that. But he goes on, he's like, yeah, and he's wearing this fucking $10 watch you probably got from Walmart, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, I think I was wearing the watch I'm wearing now, which is, that's a Breitling, kid. It costs more than the fucking, 76 Pinto you probably drive around in. If you drive at all. You can probably ride a bike, but I don't know, shit. Anyway, so, and he goes on, to say these other things, he mentioned, I said that I hadn't trained in 8 months, which, at the time, I hadn't, I had decided to, stop, not stop, but, drop the bodybuilding back. But, if you knew anything about fitness, Anderson, or bodybuilding like you claim to, you know that it's kind of a bug. It's something that's, built into you. And, so, yeah, I, decided I'd start training again, which, that's, a lot of guys do that. Like I said in another video or whatever, the great Ronnie Coleman used to take fucking, months at a time off to let his body rest. And I'm not saying that's what I was doing. I'm just saying that there's a lot of guys that, take time off from bodybuilding. But he's, claiming that, basically, and he says something about, he hasn't fucking he says he's a bodybuilder, but he hasn't lifted in 8 months or trained in 8 months, and, at the time, that was true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But yeah, he was like, yeah, he was wearing a $10 watch and a fucking like a $4 sweatshirt. He probably got it at Walmart and stuff. But like the video that he had showing was like I was wearing a Jordan sweatshirt. You know what I mean? Like fuck, if I could find one of those for $10, I'd love to. Unfortunately, unlike you, I don't wear knockoff shit though. So not it wasn't a $10 sweatshirt. And Breitling watches cost, a pretty penny. I had mentioned that one of the things Rich and I had in common was the collecting of watches. And, like, I guess, like, fucking for argument's sake, I'll say that, yeah. I mean, here's another example. That right there, that's a Rolex. That's actually a Rolex with diamonds around it, see? Basically he's like trying to say I'm broke or whatever, which is kind of cute, and that I don't really have this and that, so I thought, like, fuck it, so for Anderson Henderson, for the sake of argument, like, I just wanted to, clear those things up. This is a Cohiba cigar, by the way, that too probably costs more than everything you have on your body right now. Anyway, yeah, and I mean, like, I actually just recently purchased my girlfriend an engagement ring, so I thought, fuck it, I'll let him see that too. That right there, that's a 2-carat, diamond ring. Again, not cheap. You don't get those out of a gumball machine, fuckboy. I have, this is that's a platinum skull ring. Those aren't cheap either. Again, more, I just, and the reason I'm showing this stuff is, not to try to high side or anything like that. It's just a matter of, like, his implication that I'm broke and don't have the shit that I have is kind of funny. One of the other things Rich and I had in common, this is steroids. This is what real steroids look like, Anderson. This is Sustanon, 250. So yeah, we collected watches. We both did steroids. I don't know really where, like, he gets the idea that like I don't have the shit that I have. Why would a grown man at 39, almost 40 years old say that he has things he doesn't have? Like, there's a lot of people out there, Anderson, believe it or not, that don't live with their parents and have multiple homes. So yeah, I have 3 homes. Big fucking deal. You know what I mean? Big fucking deal. Oh, and like in the video he had, in the background, like, I think I was wearing an Angels baseball hat. This, however, hat right here happens to be a Jay Cutler hat. Just for the sake of just being fun, since I'm in Las Vegas, I'll point out the fact that Jay actually lives about fucking, I'd say, maybe 4 or 5 miles that way. I live here in the lakes. This particular house in Las Vegas that I have is in the lakes, which is a gated community. It's not cheap either. Yes, the house in Northern California did come from my grandmother. There's no reason not to be proud of having that just because you inherited it. Whatever. I have a house in the Palisades in Southern California. Big fucking deal. You know what I mean? There's a lot of other people that live in the Palisades in Southern California. That's how I met Rich. Not at the Palisades, but due to the fact that I fucking have a home in Southern California. We're both bodybuilders, or I am and he was, and like I said, I met him at Gold's North Hollywood. I believe it was 2010 or 2011, somewhere in there. And I never claimed that Rich was my best friend or anything. Like, he says that I did, or implies that I, said Rich was my best friend or some shit. Fucking, I don't know. Like, when I say Rich and I were friends, what I'm saying is that, we knew each other, we spent some time together, we hung out, we had conversations, hence a friendship, or if you want to call it an acquaintanceship, whatever. Um, the funny thing is that he goes on in the video, and I see now here's the part where I get confused in the video, because I don't know if he's like trying to mock me or if this is something that he's saying it really happened. Claims that like, and I don't know if he's like saying I did it or it was really him or whatever, but goes on to say, oh yeah, Rich sold me steroids and they turned out to be a horse tranquilizer and such, and like for God help you, man, for your sake, I hope to God that was a horse tranquilizer, because your body does not reflect that you have ever used any type of a PED whatsoever. You are literally this, like, well, I can't say that. You're not the smallest person I've ever seen, but you're pretty fucking close. For somebody who claims to be, fitness type guru type person or whatever, since your channel is called Anderson Henderson Fitness. Which I don't know why. And it's funny too, because like I decided, fuck, let me read the comments. Let me see how people feel about this kid. And like, and I'm not kidding, guys. You can go look at the video. It's called Rich Piana Did Something Very Disturbing to Me. And if you look at the comments, they like literally almost fucking every single one of them is negative towards him. I didn't watch the full video. Maybe I'll watch like some of his other like past videos or something and see if he even, talks about fitness or lifting at all. You know what I mean? It's just I don't really want to, because I don't feel like he has any content that really anybody wants to see, which kind of reflects in the fact that he only has 77. Actually, I take that back. I noticed that he got 2 more subs, so he actually has 79 whole subscription viewers now. And congratulations on that, Anderson. You're almost at triple digits. Just like your weight. You're almost at triple digits. He goes on, he calls me fat, and that's like a common thing that a lot of, smaller guys say about, big guys. Oh, he's fat, he's fucking fat. Well, like, I don't know, like, I'm not really fat. If you did know anything about bodybuilding like you claim, or fitness like you claim, you'd know that like in the off season, bodybuilders do tend to put on a little more body fat than they would carry at a show, obviously, because that's how you grow, Anderson. I mean, if you ate more than one Happy Meal a day, you'd probably grow too, if you actually train at all, which is debatable, obviously, and anyone can tell that by looking at your videos. But I mean, like, there's no fucking muscle anywhere on this kid's body whatsoever except his mouth. His mouth, or actually it's not even his mouth, I guess it's his fingers. I mean, his mouth a little bit too, since he's made videos, but like mostly it's his fingers, because like, and the funny part about it is like, for someone who hates me so much, he's clearly subscribed to my channel, because he's the first one to fucking put something in the fucking hater section, like literally minutes after they fucking upload to YouTube. I'm sure that, 2 minutes after I'm done with this one, there'll be an Anderson Henderson Fitness comment. And I'm almost positive, like, I could even call him at this point. This has been going on for a few weeks now, and he uses the same insults every fucking time. So, like, I can almost hear it now. Those watches are fake, you know what I mean? That ring's fake, you know what I mean? This fucking, that gold you wear is fake. That's gold. That gold's fake, you know what I mean? Like, you can almost hear it. Which is funny, it's cute, he claims that fucking the watch I was wearing, and I think, like I said, I think it was this one, he's like, oh, you got that at Walmart, and I found it funny that was a story named, since earlier I jokingly said his job was cleaning the bathrooms at Walmart. So he obviously knows the store pretty well. Anyway, they don't have Breitling watches. If they did, I'd buy them, but they don't. I guess I touched a nerve with this kid, at some point, along the line, and it's turned into this, kind of childish, little duel that we have going on. And, when I say that, it's childish on my part too, but whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? It's my inner child. Maybe I'm having a midlife crisis, Anderson. you know, he just, like, reading the comments, man, people don't like him, you know, people think he's silly, you know what I mean, they're just like, you're a fucking idiot, and, you know, I can't disagree with him, you know, the kid's a fucking idiot, he really is, you know, anybody that gets their friends to, like, fucking put negative comments in someone else's fucking, you know, comment section of their videos is a little bit pathetic, but I'm actually surprised he has friends, so, I mean, props to that, I mean, I know he has, well, maybe he might not even have friends. It might just, they might all be him, just using different fucking, you know, aliases in the comment section on my videos, you know, because, again, none of them have a fucking picture. You know, whoever it is, like him and his buddy Ed, that tells me to quit fucking my dog, which is still disappointing to me. You know, none of them put up a picture. You know, they don't want anyone to see what they look like. You know, so here's these guys that are like, you know, basically claiming that they're fucking this, that, and the other, but they don't even have, they won't even post a fucking picture. You know, to show that they're like, you know, these, you know, huge, you know, power lifters and fucking bodybuilders and such, because, you know, Henderson, man, he's like the next fucking, you know, he's the next big guru, right? When it comes to bodybuilding, like, he's totally gonna, he's like the next Chris Aceto. But, yeah, man, I just wanted to make a quick video to touch on the fact that, like, it's a little tired of you know, those insults are a little tired, man. I mean, I just because I have 3 houses and a few cars doesn't mean shit. You know, a lot of people have that, Anderson, and like when you grow up, you'll figure that out too. You know, it's so funny to like read his comments, and like seeing that one video was funny. I mean, just his behavior and his, you know, the way he moves and stuff it's almost reminiscent of like a really skinny Jason Genova, you know. He's just fucking, and like I said before, like, I didn't even have a problem with the kid. The video I made the comment about was, you know, his conspiracy thing. Oh, Chanel and fucking Mack Truck are gonna get together, and they poisoned his fucking, basically said they poisoned his steroids or something, or his pre-workout, or, fuck, I can't even remember what it was, but, shit, I'm gonna have to make a part 2, fuck. Anyway, I'll be right back, Anderson. Then you'll have 2 videos to comment on.